possible for you to hum while holding your nose. I wanted to bring this fact up early on in the piece because I know you're going to want to try it if you haven't already. Normally, when you hum, the air is able to escape through your nose to create the sound. And of course, you can't do that when you're holding it shut. If you yelled for 8 years, 7 months and 6 days, you would have produced enough sound energy to heat 1 cup of coffee. Just one. It hardly seems worth it. It would take 19 minutes to fall to the center of the earth. Barbie's full name is Barbara Millicent Roberts. Who knew? In some novels published in the 1960s, Barbie's parents' names were given as George and Margaret Roberts, and apparently they all lived in the fictional town of Willows, Wisconsin. Australia is wider than the moon by a whole 600 kilometers. This blew my mind, but it's true that the moon's diameter is 3,476 kilometers, and Australia is 4,000 kilometers, so it is wider. However, the moon's land area is of course much larger than Australia. In 10 minutes, a hurricane releases more energy than all of the world's nuclear Your body contains about 100,000 miles of blood vessels. It's a bit gross, but if you took all the blood vessels, including your arteries, veins and capillaries, out of the average child and laid them in one line, the line would stretch over 60,000 miles. And adults would be closer to 100,000 miles. That's incredible. There are only 4 words in the English language that end in DOUS. Tremendous, horrendous, stupendous, and hazardous. Also, dreamt is the only word in English that ends in MT. At 30.37 million square kilometers, Africa is so big, you could fit the whole of the entire United States, China, India, Mexico, Peru, France, Spain, the United Kingdom, Papua New Guinea, Sweden, Japan, Germany, Norway, Italy, New Zealand, Nepal, Bangladesh, and Greece inside of it. This is just calculating the landmass size, obviously, not each country in their respective shapes, but that seems incredible to me. All of those countries' land masses don't even equate to the geographical footprint of Africa. In all, combined, they total 99% of Africa, which itself is home to 54 countries and 1.2 billion people. Incredible. Water makes different sounds when pouring depending on its temperature. Hot water produces a higher pitched sound when poured because the energized molecules are moving around more rapidly. Put another way, hot and cold water have different thicknesses. In 2012, a man wore 60 shirts and 9 pairs of jeans on a flight from China to Africa because he didn't want to pay the extra baggage fee. The unnamed man arrived at the airport and was told he would have to pay the additional fee or get rid of some of the luggage before boarding. So he took the items out of his bag and simply put all of the clothing on. On average, people fear spiders more than they do death. I imagine it's all the silently creepy, wall-crawling, abundant egg-laying, web-spinning that you get all over your face from out of nowhere that doesn't help their cause. This one 35% of people who use personal ads or online apps for dating are already married. And men are 3 times more likely to use them than women. I think maybe that's a whole new video in itself. Did you know that koalas also have unique individual fingerprints like humans? If you place a koala's and a human's fingerprints side by side, they're pretty hard to differentiate. It is thought that koalas evolved to keep this trait, to be able to grasp in similar ways to humans, helping them to hang on to trees and do the delicate work of selecting particular eucalyptus leaves and discarding others. Neither the koala's cousins, the kangaroo and the wombat, have these fingerprint traits. There is a village in southern Norway actually named Hell. The village is so close to Trondheim Airport that when checking in at the airport you are offered the opportunity to select Hell International Airport. And yes, every winter it freezes over. The smallest bone in the human body is the stapes bone in the middle ear. Shaped like a horseshoe, this delicate bone is only 2 to 3 millimeters in length. And it works with 2 other bones in the ear to send sound vibrations into the inner ear and brain. If you open your eyes in a pitch black room, the color you see is called Eigengrau and is German for intrinsic grey, also known as dark light or brain grey. It is used to describe the uniform dark grey background that many people see in the absence of light. Ping pong balls can travel off the paddle at speeds up to 160 kilometers an hour. That's just under 100 miles per hour. That's amazing. The dot over an I is called a tittle, and it exists to help the reader easily distinguish the word from other letter forms. No word in the English language rhymes with month. Other words with no rhyme include purple, silver, pint, ninth, wolf, opus, dangerous, and marathon. The average person walks the equivalent of 3 times around the world in their lifetime. With my memory walking around to find my phone, I feel that might be closer to 4 for me. Americans, on average, eat 18 acres of pizza every day. Another search suggested that that's 350 slices of pizza every second. I'm not sure how accurate those facts are, but it's a lot regardless. This is really interesting. I found this really interesting. Spiral staircases in medieval castles run clockwise. This is because all of the knights used to be right-handed. When the intruding army would climb the stairs, they wouldn't be able to use their right hand, which was holding the sword, because of the difficulties of climbing stairs. Left-handed knights would have no trouble, except for the fact that left-handed people could never become knights, because they were assumed to be descendants of the devil. The King of Hearts is the only king in a deck of cards without a mustache. This difference wasn't a stylistic decision. He originally did have one, but it got lost because of a printing error from the original design, and now it's just a thing. When you look at a bright sky and you see all those dots, those white dots are white blood cells blood vessels in front of the retina at the back of your eye. This experience is called the blue field entopic phenomenon because it's especially noticeable when looking into bright blue light or the sky. The brooding silence in the Twilight movies surprisingly adds up. If you spliced them all together, there would be 26 minutes of quiet, moody staring. Dolly Parton once entered a lookalike contest and lost to a drag queen. She entered the celebrity contest over-exaggerating her beauty mark, her bigger eyes, her hair, but at only 5 foot was dwarfed by her competitors, and she said she got the least applause. You may be aware that humans are closely related to chimpanzees, sharing 98% DNA. But did you know that humans share about 50% of their DNA with bananas? Many of the housekeeping genes that are necessary for basic cellular function, such as for replicating DNA, controlling the cell cycle, and helping cells divide, are shared between many plants and animals. Researchers have found that all living things on our planet have some similarities in their instruction manuals. The overlap exists because we all evolved from a common ancestor, a single-celled organism that lived 3 to 4 billion years ago. While you're sleeping, you can't smell anything. Studies discovered that participants easily detected odours when awake and in stage 1 sleep, the early transition phase, but once asleep did not. It's more of a case that you woke up and smelled the coffee than smelled the coffee and woke up. However, if you woke briefly and perceived the smell of coffee, it may have woken you further if you were interested in a cup. The Australian government once banned the word mate for a day. This happened in 2005 and was banned in the Aussie Federal Parliament. The ban was revoked after 24 hours after people said, "That's ridiculous, mate." Your teeth are the only part of your body that cannot heal themselves. Unlike bones that have plenty of blood vessels running through them, tooth enamel is not a living tissue and therefore has no way to get fresh oxygen and nutrients, so once they're damaged, they can't repair themselves, so you have to take care of your teeth. The surface of Mars is covered in rust, which makes the planet appear red. Considering that the Earth and Mars are reckoned to be formed with the same materials, we could wonder why this is the case. Scientists believe it is because the intense heat inside the early Earth was enough to turn a lot of iron oxide into molten metallic iron, which seeped down into the planet to form a huge liquid core. Mars never achieved the temperatures needed for this process because it is smaller, they say. This left more iron oxide in the upper layers of the planet, which led to its distinctive russet hue and relatively small iron core. The real name for a hashtag is an octothorpe. Octothorpe. The octo refers to the 8 points that the symbol has, but according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, the thorpe part is a mystery. Ever tried to wean yourself unsuccessfully off Facebook? Try what Manish Sethi, a computer programmer, did. He hired a woman at $8 an hour to slap him in the face every time he tried checking Facebook during work hours. That's this one, and I'm going to leave any errors that I make in because it could be quite funny. It's ridiculously difficult, so I'll say it slowly. The sixth sick sheik's sixth sheep is sick. Oh, I did it. But I'm just going to leave that one there. I'm not going to give it another go. There are more trees on Earth than there are stars in the Milky Way. The claim has its origins in a 2015 paper published in the scientific journal Nature, which provided an estimate for the numbers of trees on Earth of 3.04 trillion. According to NASA specialist Maggie Massetti, most estimates put the number of stars in the Milky Way galaxy at between the lowest 100 and the highest 400 billion. Of course, this is impossible to verify, as estimating both stars and trees is extremely difficult, so we're just going to have to take their word for it. Humans have less genes than a grain of rice. The BGI group discovered that indica rice contains between 45,000 and 56,000 genes, whereas there are on average 30 to 40,000 genes in the human genome. Japan has over 200 flavors of Kit Kats. They're exclusively created for different regions, cities, and seasons. Some tasty sounding flavors include banana, blueberry cheesecake, and Oreo ice cream. But some questionable ones like baked potato, melon and cheese, wasabi and vegetable juice. The average person blinks 15,000 times a day, approximately, and an adult will take 22,000 breaths a day, working out to 8,400,000 plus breaths a year. Google Images was literally created after Jennifer Lopez wore that infamous dress at the 2000 Grammys. There were so many people searching for the outfit that Google added the images function. The dress was also immortalized with its own Wikipedia page. If you survey a random group of just 23 people, there is actually about a 50% chance that two of them will share the same birthday. This is known as the birthday paradox. It just seems so crazy, but apparently it's true. It is not true that a toilet will flush water the other way in the southern hemisphere. The Coriolis force works on air and water a shark attack. Not because the machines have unhealthy options or from allergic reactions or choking nor electrical shocks. Surprisingly, it's as a result of people rocking or tilting the machines in an attempt to obtain free snacks, soda, or even money. On average, 100 people choke to death on ballpoint pens every year. In Game of Thrones, the Night's Watch cloaks were made from IKEA rugs. They shaved them down and then dyed them to make the cloaks we saw in the show. This is a little bit gross, but amazing. The human heart creates enough pressure when it pumps out of the body to squirt blood 30 feet. The main library at Indiana University sinks over an inch every year because engineers failed to account for the weight of all the books that it would eventually hold. In ancient Egypt, the priests used to pluck every hair from their bodies, including their eyebrows and eyelashes. They viewed them as being too unhygienic to serve the gods. Being unshaven was a sign of low social status. And the last one for tonight is, there are more chickens